Hello, welcome to today's video. We are going to be breezing through chapter 3 now of the ukulele book. Now, it says here reading standard music notation. If you have not learned yet about reading standard music notation, we will be discussing that in other types of lessons or videos. And today we will probably not be really talking much about this page here, page number 30. However, let's go ahead and learn page 31. We're going to go to lesson 2, which is the natural notes on the third and second strings. And for this video, I'm going to go ahead and use my pick just so we can see what I'm talking about. So the second and third strings are those two middle strings there. C and E. Okay, so it says here, reading notes on the staff is actually easier when you learn just a few at a time, not all of them. Usually when I teach the piano, I like to teach multi-key approach, which is learning all the lines and spaces at once. But for this one, we're just gonna start very small. Okay, so let's go ahead now and take a look here. Your first notes on the second and third strings using your first, second, and third fingers. The examples below shows where the notes are located on the staff. And then there's a little tablature staff as well. Tablature is a shorthand way of reading notes that can be applied to the ukulele. So it says there it has 4 lines which apply to the 4 notes G, C, E, A, and it's read from the top line that's closest to the actual staff is going to be A right here, and then of course the bottom line is going to be the G or string G up here. So you want to maybe think about it like this. It's going to be read upside down. I'm not sure why it's like that, but that's the way it is. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at string C, and it has a 0 over the string or over the line, which is going to be string C, plus it also has a 0 underneath the note or underneath that same 0. Let's go ahead and take a look at the book here. So here we have the book close up, and as I was mentioning here, the ledger lines, let's go ahead and have us, oh, actually, I probably should use my little iPad pen, or pencil as they call it. Okay, so we have here the ledger lines, and these can be known as the notes G, C, E, and A. So those are those notes for the ukulele. C, E, A. Just remember those are the notes of your ukulele, starting from the bottom to the top. And we say bottom to the top because that's how the ledger lines look. Okay, so we have here 0 and 0. This first letter, this first number here refers to the fret. So this is the fret. The fret meaning 0 means we don't press the fret down with our left hand finger. And the number underneath the tablature system or staff is the actual finger number. Okay, so fret 0, finger 0, meaning we're going to pluck it as open. And of course, it says up there on the staff that that is the note of C, which we already knew because, of course, that's the name of our string. We know that from the past. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and erase this so it's not so messy looking. Okay, moving on to the next system here. Finger number 2 is going to press down onto fret number 2. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and unshare this since you can just go ahead and watch along with your book. So we have finger number 2 on fret number 2, and that is the note D. So we have C, oh, excuse me, finger number 2, my apologies. D, which is that one right there. The next note on the staff is E, and that is the next string up. And there's E right there. Let's go ahead and review again. C, finger number 2, D, open, E, 0, 0, meaning open, fret, and no finger pressing down. After E, we're going to go on to the same string E, which is finger number 1 on fret number 1, F, there it is, F, and then finger number 3, guess what? On fret 3, they match. I'm glad they're matching here. And then there's G. So that's kind of like a 5-finger scale, or a 5-note scale, a pentascale, in other words. Let's go ahead and start over again. C, D, E, F, G. Let's go back down. G, F, open, E, D, C. Let's do that a few times. Ready? Once again. C, D, next string, E, F, G, back down, G, F, E, D, C. Okay, very good. Let's go ahead now, and I'm gonna finger the note on the neck, and then I want you to play and say the note by yourself. Here we go. Back down. And then, very good. Practice that over and over again until you are able to read the notes perfectly well. Let's go ahead and move on down the page. By the way, it does say that you can play melody notes by plucking them with your thumb, your index finger, or your plectrum, your pick, okay? It says here, as mentioned on the previous page, this chapter will focus reading notes only on strings 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so let's go ahead here. It says here that the 4th string is tuned, oh, excuse me, I meant go through it there. The 4th string, which is that one there, is going to be on page 8. At first, the 4th string can add a lot of confusion to reading the music since it provides new options for fingering notes found on the first 3 strings. It is easy if you try to put off incorporating the 4th string until you can fluently read these first 3 strings. So let's go ahead and read these exercises here at the bottom of page number 31. And for this one here, I'm actually going to simply use my fingers. I'm going to use my thumb, T, my index finger, I, and finger number 3, or the middle finger, M. All right, here we go. So let's get our fingers ready for depressing the notes. 1, 2, and let's say the note names and go. C, C, D, D, C, D, C, C, D, 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 C, D, D, C, C. Good. So I just used my thumb for that first string. I'm going to alternate with my fingers. So I'm thinking about the classical guitar fingers when I think about these two, but let's remember it's going to be I and then M. All right, here we go. Continuing with the next system. E, E, F, F, G, to show you something. You may have noticed that when we went to the next measure of that second system, when I played G, I brought down 2 fingers at the same time. And yes, you're right. I brought down fingers 1 and 3 at the same time like this. And the reason for that is because we want to get used to bringing down more than 1 finger. When we press down on that fret number 3, that's going to be the note G. And when I let that finger go, it becomes F. So when you play G, get into the habit of bringing both fingers down, and then when you play F, simply let go of finger number 3. Let's go ahead and go back there to that second measure again. So we have G, E, let go of both, G, let go of both, E, F, E, F, G. You also may have noticed that I'm alternating between I and M. And that's a good idea for us to be able to have more flexibility and more variety with our fingering. Let's continue on to the last measure of that system. F, E, F, E. Now back to C, E, C. Oh, excuse me. C, E, C, D, E, F, G, E, F, E, D, G, F, D, E, C. So there you have it. We were practicing, and it's a good idea to have that page above to remember where to finger on those strings. Okay, so good job. So that's us learning the first few notes of the staff. C, D, E, F, G, G, F, E, D, C. Good. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and practice that, learning those notes, and we will see you next time. Have a good day.